Everything that I hold dear is burned. Altadena is a small town. It's not even a real city. It's really, really, really small. It will never be the same. And as someone who's a part of that, I will never be the same, you know? But the only response to this type of situation, to me, is to work harder, be better. My name is Jean-Baptiste Badon, the second. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I play tennis here at the University of Arkansas, and believer in Christ, follower in Christ. Altadena is my home. I played tennis there with my mom. My brothers were there. My mom has the Badon Tennis Academy. It's in Altadena at Low Mountain Park. And that is where I grew up. I was always told the truth about my game, and I was pushed to the very extremes of my body, and I reaped the benefits of that. Number one in California, top 20 in the country, 5-star recruit, whole nine. The college experience started at Glenna Community College, 2023. That was the very beginning of learning to be on a team. I was undefeated in the spring season. Summer, I barely played any tennis during the summer. I was doing so much school. And so I was kind of in a spot. I was like, I did not know where to go. And I ran into Hightower. Hightower was a former player here, former All-American here. I was like, okay, you know what? Let's see what this is all about. I came to visit. I saw the guys. And I was like, okay, it's far enough away from LA. It's the middle of nowhere. Perfect. I don't want to be distracted. I arrived New Year's Day. My family is here, you know, my mom, dad, and we're all getting me ready to my little apartment, you know what I mean? And I was practicing. I was actually asking my mom to drill me every day too, so getting used to the courts, the chairs, the red everywhere, you know, it's a little different. I haven't played indoors like this, like ever, so. When I landed in Hawaii, 7th, and I got a lot of phone calls, 15 missed phone calls. Everyone's calling me, yo, Jay, yo, JB. I'm like, what, did someone die? Like, what's going on? Like, this is, like, y'all don't never call me like this. I'm like, what's going on? And I go, LA's on fire. I'm like, LA's always on fire. There's always an earthquake going on. Like, what is, like, are we panicking over nothing? Like, what's going on? And they're like, no, LA is on fire. And at the time, it was only the Palisades. And then the 8th hits, and it was like the 7th and 8th were the days where I was just like, information was flooding in. So I wasn't getting a ton of updates until like mid-practice on the first day. You know, I got a lot of phone calls like, Eaton Canyon's on fire. I was like, oh snap, Eaton Canyon? That's by my grandma's house, and aunt's house, and a 5-minute drive from Low Mountain Park. What is going on? And the worst case scenario was true. It burned literally everything. Palisades, by the time I checked back on my phone, the Palisades was burned down. Everything was gone. And it was heartbreaking to hear. Because I trained in the Palisades. So Palisades Tennis Center, I train over there. I have a lot of friends over there. And then, of course, Altadena gets hit and Pasadena gets hit. I'm like, what? And this is all happening within the span of 48 hours. Yeah. So information is scarce. It was like 2,000 acres. Like, okay, it's manageable, maybe, right? And then 12 hours later, 8,000, 12. And it's like, this is not stopping. This is clearly going. And the containment at the time was 0. My grandmother evacuated, my aunt evacuated, my aunt's house burned down, cousin's house burned down along with it. My mentor, someone I love dearly, one of my mentors, he lived over there. His house is gone. My church burned down when I was in Hawaii, and that was kind of like my last like straw. I was just like really, it was hard to kind of gather the proper emotions to fight that back. It's just devastation everywhere. And you know, it was tough to find the like, everything's gonna be okay, right? Like, you know what I mean? You see it on the news for other people and go, oh my God, like I feel so sorry. And it hurts more because they're suffering with them. You know what I mean? I have to hear it through the phone. I have to see it through the phone. Last week was my birthday. I'm turning 22, and I'm just seeing Altadena gone. My cousin's on the news. My cousin Jason's on the news on Fox News. Aunt's house is gone. I'm just like, everything is burning. And it definitely had an effect on me. During the Hawaii trip, I changed. After the Hawaii trip, I changed. This week, getting new information about the Palisades, I changed yesterday.
I didn't quite understand how close it was to where he was living at first, and then talking to him, obviously his church had burned down, the courts that he grew up playing on, and so his family was moving around, shuffling, and so for someone to just come in to a new program and the first trip, you're leaving right away with kids you're trying to get accustomed to being in a group setting and new coaches, and so there was a lot of adversity there for JB, and I think he handled it really well. All we can do as coaches is try to be there for him and support him and talk to him if he needs to talk, and I think he's got a real level head on his shoulders, and I think that helped out. And we just one day at a time, and I think towards the end of the trip he was feeling better, but it was crazy what happened, and my heart goes out to everyone involved in that horrible situation. But he handled it well, and as well as you can, and so I was kind of proud of him with that, and I'm thankful that no one in his family got injured or hurt.
I can't explain to you the amount of pain it feels to hear the uncertainty in my family's voices at times, and they should say everything's okay, and I know it's not okay. Being here as a Razorback, it's a great opportunity, but there are no other options for me. Success is the only option I'm allowed to have, and it's been a emotional roller coaster trying to manage the duress, just because my mom's there, my mom's academy, students that I know, my loved ones, are dire times, and I'm not there to say I love them in person. It's all, like I said, all for a reason. Maybe I'll find out in due time or never, but never going to question God on why things happen, why they happened the way they did. Only going to question how am I going to react.
One more round.